This week, we examine a movie that welcomes us to a place where the truth lies. The 2021 Australian thriller, The Dry. I'm Chad.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Josh.
You're listening to episode 82 of We Used to Talk About This at Work. All right, so we're back. How you doing, Josh? This is number 6, I think, right?
I think it's number 7, actually.
I don't think that's true.
I think it's
no,
true.
you're right. 5 James Bond movies.
Yeah, and then the 6th one, where I had a special guest, which was Alix.
Yes. The woman that you refused to marry.
Yes, that's the one.
I will perpetually be on team Alix here, Alix. All right, so don't worry.
Cut that part out. No, I'm kidding. I've been good. We've just moved flat, or for any viewers who aren't British, which is I'm guessing everyone else, it's moved apartment to a different part. Sorry.
No, you're good. So like when you guys were talking about that last week, flat came up a few times. I feel like somebody said house at some point. So it's an apartment, not a house, right?
It's half a house. So it's a house that has been converted into 2 apartments, and we have the upper floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is a lease, or you're buying it? Or
we bought it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, congratulations, property owner.
Look at you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Look at you buying property with somebody you refuse to marry.
Well, it's all a process, isn't it?
No, trust me, I get it. This is all in jest.
Yeah.
So how's the moving process, man?
It hasn't been as bad as I expected or feared. Although it has been, so many removal vans and so many boxes to unpack.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been all right. It's nice because for every moment of, oh, this is so tedious, you have that other moment of, this is quite exciting. So it balances out quite nicely. And we've settled in quite well. I've only been here a couple of weeks, but it feels like home, I guess.
So I'm gonna assume you guys don't have something like Home Depot or Lowe's there. Like, what is the hardware store?
We'd usually go to, well, for furniture and things, we'd go to IKEA. Do you have in America?
Yeah, we do. No, I meant more like, oh yeah, Josh, we need to paint this room, even though there's already a color.
So we have B&Q.
Okay.
Not sure what the B and the Q stand for, but we haven't really got to that stage yet. So we did find a tin of paint in the shed, which we might use, but I don't know.
Okay, so she hasn't made you like paint shit unnecessarily yet?
Not yet. I think ask me again next episode and I'll give you a more definitive answer.
And also, since this has been going on for multiple episodes, and I know he says it like friend of the show, cousin Josh, I expect invitation to this wedding.
I was thinking that when we were on the show, when she was on the show, but I was like, I don't want to come off weird, but yeah, I'll fucking fly out. I'll fly out.
Okay.
Well, that's what I say. I probably won't fly out. I'm not gonna lie to you. The invitation just be appreciated.
I would definitely fly out if y'all was like, we're getting married, I would come.
Well, what you could do, Chad, you show up. Matt, you appear on Zoom.
Yeah,
exactly.
Bring your family along.
My wife would love it. My wife would love to go to.
She would be crying so fucking hard even on the Zoom.
Yeah, sure thing.
But yeah. Well, we really derailed ourselves there. But no, live your life, Josh. We're just poking. We want you to be happy. Be better than us. And that's all I'll say on the matter. Be better than us.
Okay.
But okay, I transitioned to a different thing. So with the new flat, are you guys animal people? You think about getting a cat or a dog or anything like that?
We kind of talked about it briefly. So when we were with Alex's parents, they had a dog who recently passed away, RIP. It was a lot of work. Very nice dog, very cute, but yeah, a lot of effort. I've never really been a dog person. I like cats because they're independent and they're cute. But because we live on the second floor, I don't think you could really have a cat because it wouldn't have easy access to outside. And
I mean, if you had a dog, it'd be running around, and the people below you would be like, "Hey."
yeah, exactly, yeah. And they don't have a pet, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never felt the need for animal company myself. I don't think Alex does either.
You don't think?
Okay.
Well, yeah, I think you should probably see what where her head's at, because you don't think.
Well, no, we've talked about it. We've talked about it, and she's more opinionated than I am, to be honest.
I got you. So speaking of opinions, a lot of stuff's happening politically out there. When you guys were last on the show, Alex is talking about Liz Truss was the
Oh yeah,
PM.
yeah.
What the hell what the hell is happening over there?
I thought I'd bring this up just because it's quite amusing. But yeah, she as of this episode, she's no longer the prime minister. She's actually the shortest prime minister in our history.
Yeah, and then she still gets like the full pension benefits for life, right?
Yeah, I think so. There's been pressure on her to decline it.
It's like
I don't think
100K
she
a
will.
year or 150,000 a year or something like that.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of money. I'd quite enjoy that myself.
And that's a meme I saw because I go to Twitter for my news, and that's what they're saying. Like how long she was there for?
6 weeks, I think, maybe less than that.
Yeah, they was like, yeah, they gave up the days. Like she was in power for that many days, but then she's entitled to this X amount of money for the rest of her life. So that's the meme I saw.
She's quite young by prime minister standards as well.
How old is
like
she?
40s or something, I think.
Oh, yeah, she got a ways to go.
Another 50 years of that, which would translate to £5 million or something. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it isn't really that much. It's not going to burden the rest of us, but I guess as the principle.
No, I get that. And then it's like, I don't know. At the end of the day, what is that money to her, right? Because like I would assume like she is somewhat wealthy.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, not as wealthy as the new prime minister.
Who's the new PM?
So it's Rishi Sunak.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you probably haven't heard of him yet, but I'm sure you will. He's I don't know how much money he has. He has a lot. He has twice as much money as the king, I think.
What?
Oh wow, damn.
Where this man's money come from?
His wife, I think. His wife's very rich.
Ah, that's the way to be. Does Alix have money? You should marry her now.
She earns slightly more than I do.
Hey, that's a dream. I wish that like my wife was rich and I can do my wildest dreams with no consequences.
Like run for office.
Yeah.
Right.
So this guy's 42 years old.
Yeah, he's the youngest in 200 years, I think.
He's a handsome dude.
Yeah, so he's also known as Dishy Sunak, because Dishy means like attractive.
Oh,
what a dish. Huh, so we should have had Alix on her get the female opinion.
She's where I heard it from, actually.
That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so he's in the same party as Liz Truss, right? So like there wasn't a general election, it was just internal.
Yeah, so before Truss it was Johnson who, so I don't know how it works in America, but when a party leader, so we have like the two main parties, for example, Labour and the Conservatives. The party leader is the leader of the party. When they come into office, they become the prime minister. So the leader is elected by the party members. It's really confusing, yeah, but basically the members of the party are members of the public who have paid for membership of the party. I'm not sure how much it costs, like £50 or something like that. So Johnson was elected by, well, okay, I'll give you the full rundown. They go through a series of there'll be like 10 MPs. An MP is a member for parliament, and they go through rounds basically until they whittle down to 2 of them left.
Like Street Fighter.
Just like Street Fighter, yeah. The others get killed. No, but they're elected by the other MPs, I think. And then when it comes down to the last 2, the winner is elected by the members of the party generally. So these are the public members who are. So, for example, I could buy membership to a party if I wanted to.
Right.
And
run for an office.
take part in that election. Not run for office, but I could elect the MP
Oh,
to
I
become the
see.
party leader.
I see.
Yeah. So Johnson was elected to be the party leader, and then he ran into a general election in 2019 where he was elected prime minister by the country generally at the ballots. Then he resigned in, God, it was this year actually.
Over the summer.
Yeah.
Like August or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So he resigned. So there was basically the period it took to elect a new prime minister, which again went to the members of the Conservative Party, was actually longer than Liz Truss was in premiership for.
So why didn't it go out to a general election when he resigned?
So when a party leader resigns, it's assumed that the position will just be taken because the party is still in office for the elected amount of time, so they just replace the leader.
Oh, I thought you guys just had I thought the PMs were in until somebody was mad and then called for a general election.
No, if it were to go to a general election, he wouldn't have resigned in the first place, because then they would be out of power basically. So it's not in their interest to do that.
So David Cameron, he didn't resign.
He did resign,
but then there was a general election, right? Because that's how you
no,
got Theresa May.
He resigned. The members elected Theresa May, and then
I didn't know they were just okay.
A year later, there was an election because she was trying to shore up kind of support for her party, but it kind of backfired a little bit, and it's really confusing.
Sorry for the talk about British politics.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, well, that's fine. That's fine. You're done. You're done, Josh.
No.
You're done.
One last bit was that so because of the whole controversy around Liz Truss, and because it took her so long to get elected, and then she resigned basically immediately. When it came to Rishi Sunak, the members didn't even get a vote. He was purely elected by the MPs. So it was done in the space of a week.
Wow.
So yeah, that's the stage we're at.
Just shotgunning prime ministers in, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
So did you have any adult Halloween plans this past couple of weeks?
What did I do? Oh yeah, I went to a pumpkin carving contest. It was very informal. It was just to get together with some friends.
Okay.
Yeah, the theme was controversial pumpkin carvings.
Oh no, gosh.
Right. I was like, okay. Let's see where this goes.
We trying to get canceled, my guy?
Potentially.
This Halloween I dressed up as you see those dinosaurs, inflatable air fan walking around. I got a clown that it looks like, if you're looking at it, he's standing on his hands walking, right? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Creepy.
Okay, so I just thought it was funny, right? It was just a simple costume. My son was an inflatable shark. We're gonna go out to Halloween, have a good time. I shouldn't say it like this. Everybody really loved this costume, to where people were running up to me to take pictures with me. Like every 20 steps I take, somebody else is running up and love the costume and everything else like that. So, and in Japan, this is through base housing. Japan, or the community in Japan, can come on base and trick or treat or whatever, right? So then, like, even the Japanese people came on, and it was like this whole line of people taking pictures with me, and like they had the news there and everything.
You was on the news?
And I mean, they recorded it. I don't have regular news, so I don't know. Like I said, I get my news from Twitter, but like I checked with my wife's parents. I was like, "Did y'all see me on the news or whatever like that. They said they haven't yet, so I don't think they probably edited me out.
I mean, you get your news from Twitter. You should have tweeted Elon Musk if he was on the platform. He'll respond.
Nah, I ain't trying to pay. I ain't trying to pay $8 for a blue check.
Hey man, we gotta get our voices out there, all right?
Right.
Did you dress up, Josh?
No, I didn't. We actually looked around in the shops, but nowhere had any costumes or anything like that.
You gotta make that shit.
Oh no, we left it too late.
Yeah, that's why you can go in your closet. It's real easy to find some bullshit, get some fake blood.
We got fake blood, but then we ended up just going to the bar and no one else was dressed up. So if we had gone in covered in blood, it would have looked a bit weird.
I see. You guys aren't sports.
True. Did you do anything?
Not on the day.
Oh, you went to the trick-or-treating thing with your daughter.
Yeah, trunk or treat, but that was a couple days before Halloween. Day of, my daughter has been kind of fighting cold because daycare is a cesspool. So
yes.
So we were pretty low key on Halloween, but before we did trunk or treat, and she was Russell from Up, and I was the old man. That was fun. I mean, she didn't know what the fuck was going on, but that was fun.
See, and that's what I was gonna say. Like right now, she doesn't know what's going on, but soon she's going to know what's going on, and she's gonna be checking for this candy. And one thing I realize now is that like before, like my son would go trick or treating with us. Like we'll go there and he'd be checking for candy. Now he has his friends and everything, to where I've noticed that he's getting less and less candy each year, but he's not really worried about the candy because it's more about getting dressed up, going out, seeing his friends, talking, blah, blah, blah. It's less about the candy as he gets older.
Are you sure that he's not getting the same amount of candy, but he's aware of dad tax?
No, I don't eat sweets. You know that. So
Oh yeah, you're right.
I'm not taking
No,
I'm not
just-
taking no thing.
yeah.
Right. But I could tell like because every time I go through it, make sure there's no fentanyl in it and no marijuana stuff in there.
So
Right.
the treats for you.
Right. So, but yeah, I can tell it's less and less, but he doesn't care because it's all about being out with his friends and having costumes and stuff like that. So she's gonna go right now. She don't know what's going on. Then she's gonna be focused on candy, and then she's not gonna care anymore. So that's what you have to look forward to.
No, I was actually thinking about that, about how last year and this year we both did we did a costume together. And that's gonna be a point where she's gonna not want to do that. And that's gonna make me sad.
Why would it make you sad?
Because I like the whole, all right, we're dressing up as something. I already got plans for next year. When Matt first moved to Japan, he sent me like this Pikachu onesie thingy. And so I'm thinking about dressing her up as a Pokemon trainer, and I just go as Pikachu.
You're going as Pikachu.
Yeah, but I don't want to do another gender bend because she was Russell this year. I want to dress her up as one of the girl Pokemon trainers. Not Misty, but
Yeah, Misty's been very sexualized for Halloween.
Well, yes, but I don't see my daughter as like a redhead.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, there's going to come a part where, yeah, but then the thing is, you got to have your fun too, to where she's going to dress up as whatever she wants to dress up as, and then you got to do your own thing.
Yeah.
There's plenty of times I told my son, I was like, yeah, we should do this. And he's like, nah, Dad, I don't want to do that. I want to do something totally different. And then I'm like, is there a way for me to, connect with his stuff and it doesn't work? Where I'm like, all right, man, you want to be a ninja? I'm about to be Dorothy from Wizard of Oz over here. It's just like something different.
Yeah. I thought he's gonna be like, I want to be a Minecraft, and you're like, what the fuck is that?
Well, no, he said some stuff like that, some Roblox things, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. Right, yeah.
I'm old.
Hey man, but I be learning the languages. I be learning what no cap is. They say bro a lot.
What
No
does
cap
that?
means I ain't lying.
No lie.
Or cap means you lying.
Where does this come from?
The youth. You're out of touch, man.
I know
Yeah, you
I'm 60, so I have an excuse.
and then glizzy means hot dog. It's all
What?
this stuff I gotta figure
Hey,
out.
Glizzy.
Glizzy.
I've never
Yeah, if you
heard that one.
yeah. Oh yeah, glizzy. Yeah, glizzy means hot dog.
Why do we need a euphemism for something which is already a euphemism?
Exactly. I don't know, but like when
The
I heard like
kids
oh
make
he's
no sense.
yes. Because
So
honestly, it was on like Sports Center or something to where there was a guy who was eating like a long hot dog, and they was like, "Oh, he's eating a glizzy," and I was like, "Glizzy," and then like I read the comments, and they was talking about like glizzy gobbler and all this other stuff, and I was like, "Hold up, Urban Dictionary, what is a glizzy?" And then I was able to educate myself to what a glizzy was.
man, at some point, Urban Dictionary is going to be out of touch. There probably is something already new and trendier out.
Probably, but they keep me up to date on whatever these terms are these kids are using, so I appreciate it.
So, Matt, have you seen the movie V for Vendetta?
Years ago, I've only seen it once.
So you remember like the dude in the mask and all that shit, and
Yeah,
blowing up shit.
yeah, with the mustache and everything. Yes.
Yeah. So apparently, British people actually have a holiday around that guy.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a hero.
Oh no. No, he's not hero. He's so in was it 1604, 1605? Guy Fawkes, who is the man whose mask you've seen. They also use his mask in that hacking group,
Mr. Robot.
Anonymous.
Oh,
Maybe Mr. I haven't seen Mr. Robot, but yeah, sure. Yeah, so he and I think 12 other people, they tried to blow up Parliament for reasons I can't quite remember. So they were Catholics and Parliament was Protestant. Something like that. So they tried to blow it up.
It was the gun barrel conspiracy or something like that.
Yeah, the gunpowder plot.
Yes.
So they tried to blow it up. They failed. He was hung, drawn, and quartered. It's a very gruesome method of execution. And every year on the 5th of November, people across the country, usually in parks, they make a big bonfire. They get an effigy of Guy Fawkes. They put him on the bonfire. They set fire to it. There's fireworks. I'm not really sure what how this tradition kind of grew up, but yeah, it's just something we do every year.
So that feels kind of fucked up. Like the way that you remember this is that the person that the terrorist that almost committed a crime, you reburn him at the stake every year. What the fuck kind of
Yeah.
shit is that?
That's like sound like some Salem witch stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you don't really think about it too much. You just do it.
You don't. Yeah, that's fair. We don't think about our traditions.
you just accept it. All right.
Don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions. So you're gonna burn some shit tonight.
I'm probably just gonna watch the fireworks, to be honest. I don't really have any plans. I think that there are lots of Bonfire Night events going around, but apparently tickets sold out a while ago. So
So like if this took place like during the week, do you guys get like a day off, or is it just that day?
No. It's just it usually happens at night anyway.
Yeah,
It's not anything more than a bonfire. It's not like people like celebrate particularly.
I got you. I got you. So what have you been up to, Matt?
I've been up with kids. Kid one singular to where he's into so much stuff. We just finished up baseball season, and now he's into football season now. So but what they do now is he's into flag football since they don't have the
Tackle?
base that I'm on. They don't have like a football team or whatever like for tackle football. So what they're doing is they do flag football. So he's been having practices for the last couple of weeks, and then today he had a double header. He had 2 games. So baseball he had before. I don't really do baseball, so like trying to teach him stuff. I know the basics, but I'm not a baseball fan. I leave that up to his mother. But now football, I'm all in. And plus, I played catch with him throughout the years. I'm like, this is my my dad moment. Like, for example, Chad, for you, if like your daughter was like, Daddy, I want some Legos and I want to put it together with you, that you have your heart emojis in your eyes and you like, yes, this is what I want. This is my
Yes.
moment.
Also, funny enough, she's about to start toddler basketball
Are you a basketball person?
ish. By the time this posts, she would have already started.
Mm. So he practiced and everything. He's a wide receiver. First game, no catches, but he's doing a thing. Ball never came their way. They win. They win by a lot. So the team is all excited. It's only like 20 minutes before the next game. Next game come. They like, they got that adrenaline. We just won this game. We about to wash this other team. We better than this team. First out, other team score a touchdown. And they're like, oh. Then we can't get nothing on offense. Turn the ball over. Next team score. They like, oh, long story short, we getting worked the second game. So then, like, second half, the coach is like, hey, we don't want to get skunked. We need to score a touchdown. That's all we care about. Even though we're still gonna lose, we just don't want to get skunked. All right. They drew up this play. It's like a minute left, fourth quarter, no timeouts out. Everything that a true competitor wants to see. They come up with this play. They do it. My son runs out. He's butt naked open. Meaning ain't nobody around him. It's just my son.
What are these
out
expressions you're using?
there. These are sports. These are sports words. He butt naked open. Ain't nobody around him.
Okay.
They throw it. My son like, and I'm like, oh my God, he dropped it. He dropped it.
Didn't that shit happen like in Peanuts or something? Like Charlie Brown fucked up a play.
Probably, but yeah, his peanut ass was doing the exact same thing. So he dropped it, and I'm on the sidelines, like, because I'm a part-time coach. I'm jumping in when I can.
Wait, this is new news.
Oh yeah, I can. Well, they have a coach, but it's a lot of kids, so I jump in when I can here and there.
Okay.
But I was like, I'm very competitive, so when he's coming back from the we lost. We had our ass whooped. So I'm like, oh no, good game. I was like, nice try, Matthew, or whatever. I'm telling my son this, but my man, this is like his Al Bundy, his Rudy moment that he can say for years, to where when a team was down and everything else like that, I came through with the clutch, catch, and go. Nah, he fumbled the ball. But also, this is only the first week, so maybe he can get better. I'm gonna be practicing him with catches and things like that. But that was gonna be my moment. That was gonna be like, my son did it, but he didn't.
Does he listen to this podcast?
No, not at all.
Oh,
that's why I talk. I can talk as much shit as I can. Unless, depending on how long we do this, when he gets older, he might listen to it and he can see my feelings. But no, I let him know. Like, I speak truth to my son, where I'm like, he always be like, Dad, how was it? I'm like, well, you did good at this, but I'm like, you should have caught that. I'm like, we go through catching. How many times we play catch together, short diamond wise, catch it like this, and so he knows though.
Like,
But
I feel like since episode 1, you've been talking shit about your son.
well, you know the reason why though. Why haven't I been talking shit about my son, Chad?
I know.
Because he won't challenge me for this throne. So I know this day's gonna happen.
This is why you don't have sons, okay? All they want to do is just, puff their chests up and show you that they're better than you. And they're gonna fucking kill you, like Lion King style.
Speaking of Lion King, you want to show him about that video you showed me?
Oh, that's funny. Don't make me laugh, Matt. I'm sick. So I saw a Instagram reel or whatever that was basically saying, in Lion King, Mufasa got trampled by the stampede, right? And we never see the body. And so it's assumed that the hyenas ate the lion, ate Mufasa, but hyenas don't eat lions. Do you know what animal eats lions, Josh?
Other lions.
Correct.
Oh.
And there's a scene later on when we go back to the Pride Lands when Scar is in charge, where he's playing with a skull, like getting his Hamlet on. And the speculation is that's Mufasa's skull.
Oh, that's dark.
Yes.
Yes. It's something that you didn't notice until somebody points it out to you. You're like, oh shit.
Now I can't unsee this.
Right.
What about have you seen the new Lion King?
Yeah, I saw that piece of shit.
Is it the same in that film? Do you see his body?
I don't even fucking remember. Like I saw it like opening weekend in the movie theater, and I was just disturbed.
See, I never seen it because of much as people like complain about it. So I never went back and saw it.
It's basically like a nature documentary because it's like live action with CG animals. What?
Yeah.
Right.
I never want to watch another live action animal film after seeing Cats.
I mean, that's they that's on the other side of the spectrum.
That's off the spectrum.
But I am interested in what they're trying to do with this live action Hercules. They said it's going to be TikTok inspired.
What?
And so
I don't even know what that means. TikTok inspired.
We don't know what that means, but that just intrigues me because I remember the reason I joined TikTok was somebody shared it like on Instagram or something, where this singer he sometimes does like if classic song from my youth had another verse on it. So like he did one my favorite song on the Hercules soundtrack is Won't Say I'm in Love, when Meg is singing it. And he did like a rap verse to it, and I was like, oh, this shit goes hard. And so like from that moment I joined TikTok to follow him, and it's just spiraled from there. So I'm like, if they actually gonna bring some TikTokers in here and like we get that rap verse on Won't Say I'm in Love, I'm here for it.
See, I'm not a TikToker, so when I was like TikTok, I was like, what? There's gonna be more dances in Hercules? I don't know what they really do on TikTok.
I mean, it's based. I mean, most TikToks are just the reels on Instagram.
Yeah.
I know my parents love TikTok. My parents they send me multiple TikToks, and I know my mother's listening. I know you see how I don't be reading them, but I be looking at them. I don't be responding back to them, but I'll be looking at them. They love TikTok.
It's some good stuff. It's a lot of good stuff on TikTok. A lot of bad stuff on TikTok, but it's a lot of good stuff on TikTok.
Yeah.
But speaking of TikTok, I know with Twitter now and Twitter's new ownership, and I read on some stuff that multiple people are leaving, celebrities and things like that are leaving TikTok. And I read an article where there's like
leaving Twitter.
I mean, yeah, sorry, leaving Twitter, where time is now for somebody to create a new social media thing. Because what I read was, did you know that Facebook has more basically activity than Twitter?
Yeah.
I would have thought Twitter had more, but no, Facebook has more.
Okay, well, okay. You stop and think about who's on each platform, right? So, Facebook was a lot of our either it was MySpace or Facebook was a lot of our first social medias, right? And so it got popular, and then eventually your parents and your grandparents and all that shit got on Facebook. They aren't leaving. A lot of your parents. My mom, she's not leaving Facebook. She's not going to Twitter. She's not going to Instagram. So like younger people, they'll splinter off to these other social media platforms, but you still have these older folks on Facebook.
Right.
So that's why Facebook is so big. And like also, I feel like it's really hard to make a new social media platform because it's like, why should I download another app.
Yeah, I think all the niches have been taken at this point. Also, Facebook has the advantage of being an explicitly social, but yeah, emphasizing the social part of the social media aspect. I have it. I don't have Twitter because for me, Facebook is useful in getting in touch with people,
Yeah.
whereas Twitter probably isn't.
Well, they all have their own like uses. Like I use Twitter just to be like, if something's happening like right now, like when Comic-Con was happening, I was on Twitter because I wanted the news instantly. And like I feel like that's the best place to get like live like information as it's happening. Oh, as opposed to any other platform.
So do you guys watch the actual news on TV?
Not
No.
anymore. I used to watch it in the mornings, but not anymore.
Right. Cause I'm like, I never watch the news. Whether I have a weather app or I just stick my hand outside. But anything else, like you said, whenever I find out something, I go to Twitter, Instagram, or something like that to figure out what's going on with the world.
Yeah.
But basically what I was saying was the article was saying that how with people leaving if people claiming they're leaving Twitter, where now would be a time for a new one to come up. And like you said, you're not going to get the older generations who stuck in their Facebook thing, but if you can get one that I guess is hidden for people, then that could be the new. If you're gonna create one, now was the time to create one for people to get on, is what basically what they're saying.
Right. But the thing is like you have to like target young people and like it needs to go upward because like if you're over here targeting like me and you, Matt, because Josh is a little younger, but like you're targeting something for me and you, I'm probably not gonna get on a new platform unless that shit's really jumping off because the younger people are on it.
Right. And also it's younger people and certain people. Like if you follow podcast friend The Rock, if you follow the podcast friend The Rock and he was on this new app and he was like, yeah, I'm on this app, then maybe I'll hop on it to see what he talking about like this and then content, whatever.
But
So it all depends
the
on who you follow.
the problem with celebrities is like they'll post the same shit on all their platforms. So it's
That's true.
like I could
Well, I'm
just see
saying
what
like
he's talking about
for
on
example,
Instagram.
right. But yeah, if The Rock was like, all right, I'm about to get off these other apps and all my content is going to be on this app, this new app I'm going over here, then if you want to see content from this person, then they're going to go over there. So like you said, it's either got to be young generation or you got to get something that get a celebrity or whoever, somebody famous who people will follow wherever they go.
Like all these folks are talking all this stuff about like wanting to leave Twitter and like Elon Musk is the devil and all this shit. And it's like, first of all, if you didn't know Elon Musk was a piece of shit before now, then you really should like be more informed. If you didn't know like where his money comes from, you should really be more informed. And it's like, no, people gonna hem and haw, but they're not fucking going anywhere. They're either going to like very few of these people are actually going to leave Twitter. And
Right. It's like
yeah,
it's the thing that they do for attention where it's like, if you were going to leave Twitter, you would just leave Twitter. You wouldn't be like, hey guys, I'm leaving Twitter.
on your
Because
Twitter.
you just doing that for attention.
Right.
Did you
Right.
guys know anyone who said they were going to move to Canada when Trump became president?
A lot of we know a fair amount of people that said some shit like that.
Did they actually go there?
No.
No, exactly.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
I don't think
No.
there's going to be a mass exodus.
Well, at least I can say that like I went to Japan.
What, like 3 years into Trump?
Right. Yeah. I was like, this is enough for me. I'm done. I'm going to Japan. But no, it had nothing to do with him.
No. So I don't know. A lot of people don't stand on their words.
No. And yeah, like I said before, I don't think you could just have another platform which is identical to Twitter. It would have to be something different, and that fulfills some kind of, I don't know, criteria that isn't fulfilled by any other platform at this point.
Right. It's just like, I don't know. I hate to say like, what more can you do? Because like a couple years ago we didn't have TikTok, right? And we just thought like, oh yeah, we're firing at all cylinders here. And then TikTok came on and it's all like, no, here you go. So
Right.
there is something out there that, will be the next hot thing, but I don't think it's going to be a Twitter replacement.
No.
Right. Yeah, because we had Vine was here for a while. That's gone because they
Well, yeah.
basically
Well,
all the other
it was ahead of its time,
right. Yeah.
but they're
Yeah,
trying to bring it
Vine.
back.
Now you can't bring something like that back because we already got stuff that already does exactly what Vine does.
But that's the thing, though. Like, you had Vine, it went away, and then TikTok came on the scene, and then Instagram Reels, they're replicating it. The thing on Facebook with their videos, YouTube Shorts, like everybody's just replicating each other. Like, basically remember when Snapchat first came out. And like, you put your shit up there and it's up there for so long. Now we have Instagram stories, Facebook stories. We even have TikTok stories. So everybody's just copying what everybody else is doing. Or during the pandemic, that app where you could like talk to people. Do you remember that, guys? It was an app. It was like, do you know what a party line is, Josh?
A party line?
Yeah.
No.
It may have been called something different in the UK.
Oh, yeah, that rings a bell. That was marketed as the next big thing, and I said it's not going to be the next big thing, and then it wasn't the next big thing.
Right. I mean, it served its purpose during the pandemic. Basically, you would log into the app, and it's like, basically, it's a party line. So, party line is you'll call this number, and it's just like a big conference call, and people can just talk and say whatever. And there was
I know what you're talking about now.
And there was an app during the pandemic that was really popular, and eventually Twitter, they replicated that, but it was like too late. I mean, like, people didn't fucking care anymore because people were going back outside and shit. So like a lot of things have their time and place.
Was it called Clubhouse?
Yes.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes.
See, everyone's forgotten now.
Right.
Yeah.
every now and again, I'll see like so and so is doing like a whatever the fuck on Twitter, like whatever their replication is of it, and I'm like, I don't want to hear somebody talk.
Because there's times where I get invited into this stuff. I'm like, why am I in this? And it just be somebody having a group conversation.
Right. I mean, that was fine when we were stuck in our houses. So I've been watching a couple shows, guys. So I binged the White Lotus, the first season. Have you guys heard of the show?
I've seen it advertised.
It's on HBO, and the first season came out last summer, I believe. And the White Lotus is basically, there's a resort in Hawaii, and it follows it's like 3 parties. So like the first party is a woman, she's there to like spread her mother's ashes. The second party is a newlywed couple on their honeymoon. And then the third party is a family plus the daughter's best friend. And it follows these 3 parties plus a few of the employees. And I feel like the show's doing a couple things. Like the show's a commentary. You good, Matt? Oh, his shit's fucking up. Or is he leaving?
What's going on?
You okay?
No, my headphones died.
You gotta stay wired up, Matt.
Right. But keep talking. Keep talking. I'm gonna
You
mute
look
myself.
so naked without the headphones.
He does.
Butt naked.
Butt ass naked. Butt ass wide open.
Yeah. Oh yeah, keep talking. I'll be right back.
Okay. So the show is like a commentary on like wealth and inequality. The first episode was really good because like it leaned more so on the staff than the families. And so like I've never worked in hospitality, but you just get the impression that it's a really shitty job.
Hmm.
But as the show went on, you spent more time with the families, and so you got to know them more. And so I'm not saying you cared less about the staff, but you understood the guests a little bit more to where you weren't thinking about how shitty they are to the staff, even though they are kind of shitty to the staff.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was really good. It's 6 episodes. It takes you through some stuff. It takes you through some stuff because like in like the first couple minutes of the first episode, it establishes that somebody died on at the resort, and you're trying to see who this person is. And when you see who the person is that died and how they died, it's really fucked up, and it really could have been avoided. But excess and rich people just wanting to do whatever the fuck they want to do, and it just things got a little bit out of hand.
Sounds very sobering. Is there going to be a season 2?
Yes, so it's going to be an anthology series. Season 2 is airing right now with one of Matt and my favorite people in this world, Aubrey Plaza. She's in season
Oh,
2.
I
So
saw it the other day.
each season has a different cast, and also it will be in a new location. So season 1 was in Hawaii, and I believe season 2 is in Spain, I think.
Okay.
But that's just how
But
it shows.
speaking of Aubrey, you want to bring up the news about Aubrey?
Oh yeah, she's gonna be in Agatha Coven of Chaos.
Mm-mm.
So
I guess she's a witch.
yeah. Well, most likely we don't know.
Okay.
So that might be good. Yeah, because you saw that movie Matt saw a couple of weeks ago.
Emily the Criminal.
Yes.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I still need to see that.
I mean, okay, yeah, no. Emily the Criminal was good. The other one with what's that girl we like for Community?
I know I ended up seeing that. Remember, it was some bullshit.
Yeah, that was bullshit. But Emily the Criminal was good. I liked her in that one. Yeah, yeah.
Spin me round.
Yes. Yes.
Not good.
Nah.
And
Yeah.
then I also finished Bad Sisters on Apple TV Plus. And I think on that Amy episode we mentioned it. And overall the show's good, but it's 10 episodes long. And on Pinky and the Brain, when Pinky asks the brain, what are we gonna do this week? And he says the same thing we do every night, Pinky, try to take over the
Better
world.
take over the world.
The show
Hey Josh, do you know what that is?
Yeah, I used to watch it when I was
Oh, okay.
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 Real surprised by that one. The show felt repetitive because it was like 9 episodes of failed attempts on this man's life until they finally killed him. And it's just like after like the 5th episode of this shit, I'm like, just fucking kill him, please. Like, just stop dragging this out.
Right.
So, but I really liked how it resolved itself. And funny enough, so the guy that they're trying to kill in Bad Sisters, he played Dracula in on a BBC miniseries like back in 2020.
Yeah.
And so on the outline I wrote Dracula with an iPad because I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about like spooky shit that they're watching this year for Halloween time. And they called this show Dracula with an iPad because like it's 3 parts. So parts 1 and 2 are set like in the 1600s or whatever. And then part 3 is in modern day. And parts 1 and 2 of this Dracula show are like fucking amazing. It's like it's creepy. Like I don't know what it is about it, but like British people can do some Victorian horror like a motherfucker. Like some of the best episodes of Doctor Who or like during that time period. But like for some fucking reason, the last episode was in modern day and the show fucking tanked. Have you seen it, Josh?
No, but I think I would have the same reaction.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like a lot of this shit I can forgive, but when motherfuckers got cell phones and shit and like iPads, this motherfucker had an iPad doing his evil deeds and shit. I'm like, nah, man.
It's like What We Do in the Shadows, something like that.
I didn't care for the movie, but the TV show is really good.
Yeah, I think the show's better, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
But like the show just lost all believability once they got into the modern day.
I don't like time skipping, especially modern day.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like
Oh.
certain horror things just don't feel right when like it's now.
Right.
So that the show kind of fell apart at that point. But I highly recommend the first two parts. Just like watch parts 1 and 2, and then some stuff happens. Like once Dracula goes into the water in episode 2, turn it off. Just turn it off.
Okay.
You don't need to know what happens after that. All right. Just assume he died.
You're right.
And then the last thing is so God of War Ragnarok just came out. And so that made me feel nostalgic because I got the last God of War on PlayStation 4 for my birthday like 4 or 5 years ago, and I never finished it. And so, yes, man.
No, I'm saying friend of the show, Laurent, let me get his the last God of War. I didn't finish it either.
I enjoyed it. It was just a lot, right?
Right, and that's what it is. It wasn't bad, but it's just like the same way I feel about what's the thing you gave me?
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. It's not a bad game. It's just a lot to do in it to where it's like all this stuff. So it's like I don't have time to sit through to do all these other stuff like that to it. All the stuff like that, yeah. So it's just a lot.
Yeah. So I've tried to come back to it from time to time over the years, and it's just like I'm in a part where I'm like, I don't remember how the controls go. I don't even know if I'm in the right part. These monsters keep killing me, so fuck this.
You didn't lower the level?
No. And so I was like, okay, I would like to play Ragnarok. So I'm on the hold list for the game from the library. I'm number 15. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna beat the last game. So I started a new save and I played it and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this, and this is not too bad. And so I got like maybe 2 or 3 hours into it. And I'm like, I remember a lot more stuff happening between where I'm at and where I need to be. So I'm like, let me go back to that last save. So I went to it and it said that I last played August 4th, 2019. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. So I loaded it up and I'm playing. I got past the part I was stuck at, and I remember how the controls work now. So we'll see how
you're
this
good
goes.
now. Right.
But I looked at a guide and I was like, okay, my current objective is to do this. And so I looked at a guide to see where that links up with the story. I'm not even halfway done with this game.
So let me ask you a question. So when you play like an open world game like this, GTA or anything like that, do you just automatically like start playing without looking online or for anything? Or do you look online ahead of time to figure out like, oh, when I get to this mission, I need to collect this or something like that? Or do you just go through and then if you didn't collect it, you just get on the back end?
Normally I just go through and whatever the fuck, but I looked at a guide to see how much more game is left.
Oh, okay.
How about you, Josh?
Yeah, I never look things up because I feel like I'm cheating if I do. I recently played Elden Ring. Have you played Elden Ring? So
I have
Not
not,
my
but
kind
I've
of
heard
game.
good things about it.
Not
I
my
got
kind of game.
right to the end and I just couldn't do it. I was just actually no, to be honest, I looked up one thing which was like how to find this particular item of which I already had like 10, but I needed one more in order to do something. That was the only thing I looked up, but I just felt rotten after that. I was like, I've cheated myself. Yeah,
Right.
because I did the whole rest of the game without looking anything up.
I'm at a point now as a gamer where like I just really want to experience the story. Like when I was your age, I genuinely cared about multiplayer. And so like let's go. But now like it's single player. And you know what? I would play a game on easy if I could just get through this shit, right? Like if I think I sent you a meme about this, Matt, where it was like, let's bring back God mode. I just want to get to the end of this. I want to
Right.
feel like I'm doing something. I don't need to play this at the hardest level. I just want to be able to get past these bosses and let's experience the story.
Right. I mean, it's understandable. I understand you want to have difficulties in this and stuff like that, but you still want to. I don't want to have to like die like 3-4 times to get through this. It's supposed to be an enjoyable experience for me
Right.
to play this.
You can save yourself some money there. Usually on YouTube, you can find people they've got the whole campaign.
Yes,
And I can show
we
you
know,
just the
but we
cutscene.
still want to clickety clack.
Okay.
Also,
Yeah.
did you know I read the other day that when you play on a original Nintendo, original Mario, when you like say if you get to World 5 or whatever, you die. It starts from the beginning, right?
Okay.
No, it does not. Once you die on the original Mario, if you press certain buttons, you will start back from that level.
Interesting. It's interesting, like the things we learn about these games like 30 fucking years after they come out.
Right, exactly. I'll send you guys a screenshot of thing. So I want to take a picture because I have the Nintendo Classic, and I'm like, I want to see if this is actually true or not. But you know, you can't believe everything that you see on the internet.
Because I saw a video the other day about original Pokemon where it was talking about how capturing Pokemon is broken on the game, where you know is always been ingrained into us, lower their health as low as you can and then throw the Pokeball. But on the original one, the stats are broken. So like the Pokemon could be at 100% health, but as long as it's sleep, you have a higher chance of catching it than if the health was at 1%.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
And also it said that great balls have the highest percentage of capture rate, not ultra balls.
Ultra balls? Really?
It's in the original red and blue. Because like
See,
it said like
they
a lot
lied
of this
to
a lot
us.
of this stuff is broken.
Right.
So yeah. I don't know. Craziness. But let's get to the review. We've been murmuring for a bit. This week we discuss The Dry.
Luke drove to his house at 4:30, killed his family, then headed here to kill himself.
You're convinced he did it?
What do you think?
It's all over town that you're reopening the investigation.
Who's here? It's the pigs.
You, of all people, should be minding your own business.
Boy! What are you doing back in our town, boy?
So you've heard some stories about me.
I've heard some.
You got a personal history with the girl who died in a river 20 years ago.
There's a connection between the two deaths. Where were you that afternoon?
Why would I lie?
Because Luke asked you to.
I need a suspect.
Put them under enough pressure and they just crumble.
This has got nothing to do with me. You don't know me.
Josh, how would you describe this movie without looking at the description, just going off your memory of what you saw? Tell us what this movie's about.
I'm probably the least qualified to say that because I had no idea what was going on. I was
were the accents a bit much for you?
No, I'm fine with the accents. I mean, they're not too different from British accents, really, are they? But okay. So all right. So there's a chap. There's a policeman.
There's a chap. I love it.
And
he's a federal policeman.
Yeah, he's a federal policeman. Wait, no, I'm skipping ahead. Right, first scene. You see the Australian outback.
Josh. if somebody was like, "Oh, hey, what was the last movie you saw? The Dry. What is it about?"
Yeah, so first scene.
Elevator pitch. Let's go.
All right, it's about a guy who has to investigate the murder of three people, basically a family, and his investigation into this murder converges with flashbacks to a potential murder that happened when he was a kid, and it's just about him trying to figure out the murder, really, or if it's a murder in the first place. Is that right?
Matt, what's your description?
A guy comes back into town to visit a funeral that he was friends with when he was kids, and then situation happened. Now he's looking to a murder suicide that may or may not be a murder suicide.
Okay. IMDb says Aaron Falk returns to his drought.
Wait, stop right there. Chad, how would you describe this movie without looking at the outline?
Excuse me. A guy returns to his hometown to attend the funeral of an old friend who committed a murder suicide. But his parents don't think that it was a murder suicide, and they encourage him to look deeper into it because they know he had lied when he was a teenager about a similar instance when he was a kid.
That sounds a lot better than what I said.
Yeah, good point.
So IMDb says Aaron Falk returns to his drought-stricken hometown to attend a tragic funeral, but his return opens a decades-old wound, the unsolved death of a teenage girl. Matt, what did you think of this movie?
I enjoyed it. Honestly, like afterwards, I was like, I really enjoyed Eric Bana to where I was like, hold up, I've seen him in stuff, but what have I seen him in? And then like I looked it up and I'm like, the only thing I've ever seen him in was the Hulk. But I'm like, I like Eric Bana.
I like him too.
I really like Eric Bana. I wish I could see him in more shit. I like the way that I liked everything how it played out to where they kept going back to where the childhood to where, because it makes it seem like it's one thing, they gather more information, it's another thing, and then once they get one here, then they like, oh no, it's not that. I like the switcheroos. I like because you honestly, you do not know the full picture to the last 2 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. For me personally, it wasn't one of those things like, oh yeah, I know it's this person exactly, and it happened at the end. But like, for some reason, like I just really enjoyed. I don't know if it's Eric Bana, the actor, or I just really liked his persona in this to where like he was in command even when he wasn't in command. Like, not command. Oh, yeah, he was in command of the screen. There we go. Like he was on his shit the whole time. And I really enjoyed this movie to where it is when you say a thriller movie, this is a thriller movie to me where I did not know to the end of the movie. And I was like, whenever they said the answer, I was like, damn, that's right. And then it was nothing where I knew ahead of time. I was like, it's this person automatically, and it was that person. Like I didn't know till they dropped it. And I was like, fuck, yeah, you're right. It is that person.
Josh?
Yeah, I shared that similar feeling of not knowing what was going on, but that lasted for the whole film for me. I'm really bad with like murder or crime films because I feel like if you miss like a particular line or something, then you're just kind of disoriented for the rest of it. And I'm especially prone to that because I have a really wavering attention span.
Do you play with your phone while you watch stuff?
I did last night.
That's when you watch a movie.
I was ordering a takeaway, and it took ages, and there was a lot of phone calls and back and forth. So So yeah, but apart from my confusion, I enjoyed it. It was quite evocative. I liked the setting played into it quite a lot. It reminded me a bit of I don't know if you've seen it. There's a film from the 70s called Wake and Fright.
Mm-mm.
It's quite an obscure film. It's set in Australia, and it's about these like drunkards who just go around shooting kangaroos and stuff. It's actually kind of a bad film, but you get a real sense of place, which I thought was quite interesting.
Our boy Donald Pleasance is in this movie from Halloween, Matt.
Oh, okay.
The was it Professor Loomis or whatever?
The second one.
No, Loomis. He was in all of them.
Oh, okay. Loomis is in. Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. As I'm watching it, I'm like, we don't really talk about like adult movies that often. And do you know what I mean when I say adult?
No, what do you mean?
Like, this isn't like a superhero movie, right? Like this isn't like some sort of this isn't like a Knives Out, like star-studded, it's not the word I'm looking for, but like flashy
Okay, I know what you mean now.
movie.
Right.
This is like a down to earth, this could actually happen type situation where it's
Right.
like,
There's no special effects. There's no
yeah,
like Samuel L. Jackson in this. This is a
this is, I
real
mean,
movie.
aside
Yeah.
from Eric Bana, like this is all on the backs of the acting, and everybody
Right. The
is
story
firing,
and actor.
and everybody
Yeah.
is firing on all cylinders.
Right. Right.
And it's just like, you're right. Like if you miss one little side piece of dialogue, it's not going to make sense, right? And
Right.
it's just like, it's all about the performances, and I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It doesn't surprise me that this movie is based off a book, because it
Yeah,
does have that vibe to it.
Right. Right.
And
It does. Yeah.
I feel like in the book there probably would have been more clues as to that lead up to the person that did the crime.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what I thought. I think like when they mention names and things, like I struggle to put like a face to a name quite
Yeah.
often, which you don't really have with a book because they mention it quite often.
Yeah. But no, like this was really enjoyable. Like I really liked this movie. Like I gave it a 4.5. Like it was really good. I like a good mystery. Like I said, the acting was solid. I hate this term so much, but I'm gonna use it. Like the town felt like a character.
Mm-hmm. But I think like, and like you said, like it played off perfectly for this, because when you have this extra stuff, like the whole dry town and everything, and then the end, towards the end where he was going to set himself on fire, it wasn't the fact that he did all the shit and he's going to set himself on fire. It was still the fact that if you set yourself on fire, all this other shit is going
You're
to catch
gonna
on
destroy
fire.
the whole town.
Right. So I like how it encompassed everything that's been going on,
Right.
to where like they laid all this groundwork at the beginning. It affects the end. I really enjoyed that part too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What do you guys think the Rotten Tomatoes is on this movie?
90%. And if it's not, y'all crazy out here.
85.
So Matt, you're way off, sir.
God damn.
The tomato meter is 91%.
Oh, okay. See, it's honestly, like, even if you haven't watched it, I'm telling you, like,
we're being very intentional. Like, see this movie. Like, if you
right.
got
No,
this, if you got
it's
this
great.
far,
Yes.
if you got
Just
this
pay
far, see the
attention.
movie.
Right.
With an 89% audience score.
Mm.
All right. So we haven't played this game since the Power Rangers versus Power Rangers episode. This week we play Who is Faking Their Accents. Of the following actors, who is not Australian? Eric Bana, he played the lead, Falk. Guinevere O'Reilly, she played Gretchen. Kerr O'Donnell, he played the cop. Or John Polson, he played the school official.
Josh, you go first.
Yeah, I think Guinevere is Anglo-Irish, so I'm gonna go with her.
I was going to go with the cop, but he seemed very confident. So I
His name is O'Donnell.
But think of all the Irish immigrants who moved to Australia in the 19th century.
Yeah, see, here's the
See?
thing. We don't know nothing about that shit.
right. See, that's what I'm saying. Like Josh is very confident. So I'm like, man, I need to go with all right, just to play the odds. I'm gonna go with the cop.
Right. So Josh is right. She is
Right.
so the cop, he is Irish also, but he is Australian.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Um
Josh is very confident in his answer. He had history details on his side.
so I really liked her character, and I was like, I really like how she looks like somebody who like stayed in this town too long.
Hmm.
That's another thing. Like, I never want to say. I know I've said this before, but in a different episode. But like, I don't say ugly. Ugly is not the right word. But it's like I like when the characters look the part.
Yeah,
for
they
the
don't
way-
look like an actor.
Right, there we go. You're not acting like, oh, I'm in this part of town. They actually look like they grew up in this area or
Yes,
whatever
yes,
like that.
yeah.
But I really did enjoy when he accused her of the
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
and she was like, "Get out!" And he would say, "Get the fuck out of here!" And I was like, "Yes."
Yeah, because it's like he kept pushing it, and it's like
right.
it's like they just to kind of give context, like they were about to have sex, and then
Right.
like she got a phone call about her kid, and he's like, wait a minute, this might be a clue. I'm gonna push this. And I'm like, there was a point where you still could have saved the night, but he kept going.
Right, because she was like, so wait, he's like, I gotta ask, and she was like, well, just ask it, and then he was like, I was like, my brother, what are you doing, man? This
He's
could have been
like-
a morning after question you could
Right.
ask.
He's like, she answered the question. Stop pushing.
right,
Stop pushing.
right.
But funny enough, I know you aren't watching it, Matt. Josh, are you watching Andor?
No.
So she is a very big character on Andor. And I was looking at her, and I was like, she looks vaguely familiar. And then I looked her up, and I was like, oh shit, you making that big Disney money right now.
Good for her.
But yeah. All right. So a couple of bits of trivia. Principal photography began March of 2019 in Australia. The film made 3.5 million Australian dollars during its opening weekend, making it the highest grossing Australian film opening weekend ever, and the best debut for an Australian made feature at the country's box office from an independent studio. And lastly, a sequel based on the follow-up book called Force of Nature is in pre-production.
Mm.
I'll watch it. I mean, now, like honestly, it got me checking for Eric Bana. I need to see other stuff in there. He acted his ass off in there where
Yeah.
I respect it, and I want to see some more of him.
One of my favorite movies he's in is a movie called Munich. It's directed by Steven Spielberg. And like that movie is so fucking good, dude.
Like I looked up his stuff. Why isn't he in more stuff?
The problem is like, you know how like a lot of actors like look at somebody like Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell is talented as fuck, but they brought him in as a leading man, and the stuff that he was in didn't really work out. So a lot of his smaller stuff he's really good in, but the bigger stuff they don't really utilize all his talents, and so we don't see him in our shit.
Because I went through his IMDb or his history, Eric Bana, and I'm like 90% of the stuff I haven't seen, and the stuff I did see, he was a voice actor, like Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Okay,
Right.
but I'm like going off of this, I'm like he should be in some shit though.
No, he's a really good actor. It's just picking the wrong American projects.
Mm. Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, yes, definitely watch this movie.
Yes. You want to plug anything before we get out of here, Josh?
I don't think so. Although Alix did want to plug something last time, but I don't think she got the opportunity to.
Okay.
So she has an Instagram page,
Oh.
or should I say a bookstagram page? You heard of
Oh.
bookstagram? It's just
Okay.
Instagram for books, but it's on
Yes.
yeah, anyway. If you like books, then you should definitely give it a follow,
Okay.
as I do.
Yes.
It's called Cozy Readers, spelled exactly as you imagine it would be. And
So,
check
so
it out.
if I imagine it with an I, that would be correct.
With an I,
Uh-huh.
no, you wouldn't. You'd be
Then
wrong.
it's not how I imagine it, Josh.
All right.
All right, spell it out for us illiterate people.
COSYREADERS. Is that right? Yeah,
I don't
something
know.
like
But put it in the chat and we will put it in the show notes.
that. There you go.
It's always a pleasure, Josh, on your 7th appearance, not your 6th.
Same to you.
And thank you so much for listening. Please rate, like, and review our podcast on your platform of choice. If you have any feedback, please email us at weusedtotalkpod@gmail.com. Like our Facebook page, We Used to Talk About This at Work, and follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at We Used to Talk Pod.
And like always, I don't know if this was a good episode. I don't know if it was a bad episode. But whatever you think about it, talk about it at work. Thank you for listening.